It's Thursday, February 13, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. Our top story at this hour. Prison officers break their silence on the issue of violence at Dodds. According to Treasurer of the Prison Officers Association of Barbados, Nigel Hall, nearly half a dozen officers have been physically assaulted by inmates on the job over the past few months, and they are not happy with the responses from the prison boss or the Minister of Home Affairs on the issue. He also revealed that an officer now has to find some $55,000 for reconstructive surgery on his knee, which was broken by an inmate.
We have a female officer who was attacked by a male inmate. Her ankle is actually, she's at work right now with a cane, and she wears a boot. We've had 1, 2, 3 between November to January. We have 3 other officers attacked. One had some hot tea thrown in his face, and his head was burst. Then the other 2, one was assaulted, wife taking the inmate to getting the inmate ready for a court, and the other face. He received 9 stitches to his face.
Barbadians are in a state of denial when it comes to deviance among the country's youth. That's the view of Principal of the Government Industrial School, Erwin Leacock. He made the comment as he addressed a lecture and panel discussion on the topic, Youth Violence, the Barbados Experience, held at the WIM playing field in St. Peter as part of gathering activities for that northern parish.
But Barbados is in a unique position where we are extremely good at denying. We are extremely good at finding fault. And that is the crux of the matter. Before we can address this issue, we have to identify who we're talking about, what might have motivated somebody to misbehave. We focus almost exclusively when we're talking about troubled young people on what they've done. What they're doing, how they're disappointing. But we don't often focus on the reasoning why.
Leacock said not enough attention was being paid to the situations which cause children to act out.
So every single household in Barbados, in this extended family in Barbados, regardless of how much money they have, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of whether they go to church, there are some young people who will experience challenges. And in trying to cope with those challenges, they make some poor decisions. But we have to be patient. We have to be patient. It is frustrating, yes. But the temptation now in Barbados is, with these children who are problematic, we're giving up on them.
The Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs wants the ruling Barbados Labour Party to restore funding to government ministries and agencies to help in the fight against HIV/AIDS. And Minister Cynthia Ford wants that financial assistance as soon as the economy improves. She made the comments on the sidelines of an HIV/AIDS seminar for men held at the Savannah Beach Hotel yesterday.
We have achieved many goals in the exercise with the HIV, and of course, you know, the mother-to-child transmission has been reduced to perhaps 1%, 0 point something percent. I'm not familiar with it right now, and as a result, because of the good things that are happening and the interactions and the knowledge that people received, it looks as though that was the reason why we stepped away. But we must get back into all of the governmental institutions and put in some element of funding to be able to continue with that sensitization that is critical. And for what we are seeing many of our young people in particular are doing, you can tell that they're not doing protective things that are protective, to be able to safeguard themselves and live healthy young lives or older lives. And so I know that most of the ministries had it taken out during the last administration. And now I am recommending that it happen. It may not happen in all of them during the program, but I know that the HIV/AIDS Commission has their budget and they're still working.
Minister Ford says the funds are needed to educate young people.
The World Bank loan in the other administration I was in, that they had been funding it, and that funding now is gone. So we're now going to have to go and source other agencies that will help to strengthen our budgets to be able to continue to offer until there is funding for all of the ministries across the board. You can have young children, 13, 14, whose bodies are developing and they know little or nothing about AIDS. And I am going to be very matter of fact with you. I believe that the statistics in this country on incest and persons taking advantage of young girls and boys is climbing. I do not have the statistics, but from the stories you hear, from the little snippets you see in the newspaper where men get charged for having relationships with younger or underage girls, and women get charged for having relationships with younger boys, it says to me, no sensitization or little sensitization is there when it comes to young people understanding their bodies and the kinds of diseases.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Root Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
To news from the region, in Belize, National Security Minister John Saldivar has been suspended indefinitely and has also agreed to tender his resignation as the leader-elect of the ruling United Democratic Party amid allegations linking him to a bribery scandal involving an American businessman. In an address to the nation yesterday, Prime Minister Din Barrow said that the suspension would allow for the government and the police to fully investigate the allegations made during the trial of the American Lev Derman in the United States.
The testimony given in the trial this Monday and Tuesday by one Jacob Kingston has proved, to say the least, explosive. Kingston incriminated Minister John Saldivar in particular, and produced text messages in support of his evidence relating to the allegations he made against Minister Saldivar. As Prime Minister, I have earlier gone on record about this matter. This was after ministers had sworn to Cabinet that none of them had taken any money from Derman and Associates. I said in Cabinet at the time, and later at a press conference, that any minister subsequently proven indeed to have taken money and therefore to have lied to Cabinet would have to leave the Cabinet. That time for leaving, in view of what happened Monday and Tuesday in Salt Lake City, Utah, that time has unfortunately come.
And finally, some 242 people died from the new coronavirus in China on Wednesday, the deadliest day since the outbreak began. There was also a huge increase in the number of cases, with 14,840 people diagnosed with the virus. The latest figures came as leading health experts from around the world were meeting at the World Health Organization's Geneva headquarters to assess the current level of knowledge about the COVID-19 disease.
As you know, the Research and Innovation Forum on COVID-19 concluded this afternoon. I was very encouraged to see the energy and the speed with which the global research community has taken up this challenge. As we speak, research groups are meeting with the leading research funders to start work immediately on the most pressing questions. Some of these issues include easy-to-apply diagnostics, the best approach for infection prevention, potential therapies that could be used to treat patients, existing vaccine candidates and how to accelerate them, and how to address the infodemic.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.